Alright, welcome to a bike ride of mine. Here you'll see me leaving the house, and today I'm heading off to go and visit Wendy at the Point Cook Town Centre. A bit of a catch up, a bit of a chat over a coffee. And in this video you will see me find a dog that was lost, and yeah, you'll see what happens in the video. I'm not exactly sure how to narrate this video, but we'll see how we go. So currently I'm travelling down Boardwalk Boulevard. I know on the right soon you'll see a child that's sticking his head out of just there. It's very quick, very hard to see. Should pause it on it, but it's not that interesting. Yeah, stopping at the intersections isn't too bad. Didn't have to wait too long at all at pretty much every stop that I had to do today. Yeah. The wind wasn't too bad either. It was actually a really warm and humid day. And then only towards the end of the bike ride did it actually change to a bit of a storm was coming in, so it started to rain just that little bit. And unfortunately the battery for the camera died just before I arrived at home, so I didn't get the full video. But it was only, a couple of minutes towards the end of the bike ride. I got the most part of it. A few pedestrians. We're now arriving at the Point Cook Town Centre, pretty much, at least at the intersection outside of it. This would be the longest wait for the ride, and even then it wasn't too bad. In a moment we'll go past a bus, and then the speed will be drastically reduced as I go through the Point Cook Town Centre. So this is at 700% speed. Just on the right here is where the cafe is, where I met up with Wendy. So I parked my bike here. That's now after the coffee. To be fair, I didn't even have a coffee. I had a lemon tea, a cold lemon tea. So we're now leaving the Point Cook Town Centre. On the way back, it was supposed to be a nice, simple ride like that. Tailwind now. There was headwind on the way up. Tailwind now, and due to the storm coming in, that tailwind certainly helped quite a lot. And it only increases towards the end of the bike ride. A few people on the footpaths here, so I decided to take the road for the rest of the way. And you'll see coming up shortly that I actually slow the video down into normal speed, and you'll see why. Alright, in front of that car on the left, there's a dog. And it took me a moment to process. Then I did a U-turn, stopped and said hello to the dog, checked with the people walking past to see if it was their dog. Nobody said anything, like they said that wasn't their dog. So now, off camera, I'm saying hello, seeing how friendly the dog is. Turns out the dog was super happy to see me. It was a very good boy. And then I just kind of followed him along to see what he was doing, if he was looking for an owner, to see which direction he'd head in. So I'm basically just following him for a little while. Not too long from this point, I started to make a phone call to Tim and said, can you get in a car to see if you can help me pick up this dog and take him to the pound, basically, or a vet or someone that could take care of him and get in touch with the owners. So yeah, Tim's now on the phone to me at this point, and he's getting like a bowl ready and some water and putting a towel down in the back of his car. My main concern now is I didn't want the car to be on this busy road, the dog to be on this busy road. So I was hoping I could usher him, and he'd turn the corner anyway. So yeah, I was happy to just kind of guide him to a quieter street, so he didn't get hit by any cars. And yeah, still just trailing along, waiting for Tim to arrive. It was really good because along here where we end up stopping for a little bit, and Tim met me. I went and knocked on the door of whoever's house that we're outside of, and pretty much asked them. Oh, the camera got knocked down. That's why it's facing the ground now. Yeah, asked them if they could look after my bike while I jumped in the car with Tim and went to the pound. They were more than happy. Yeah, they were home, and he said he'll be home for the rest of the day, so he took my bike in there. In a moment you'll see the Australia Post, the postman. There he is. He was a bit hesitant. I think he needed to deliver mail, and the mailbox was right behind me. I said, sorry man, it's not my dog. So yeah, the dog has now been dropped off at the pound, and I'm just heading home. This is now at 1,000% speed, so bit faster, and you'll see me stop because I noticed that there's a gate open. So I make my way down the side street and to the other side of these houses and try and guess to see which house this dog might belong to. I did my best judgment. I had a look at where the gate was and just kind of tried to count the houses and and take a note of like the brickwork and stuff. But with the Point Cook area, every house basically looks the same. This person did come to the door. You can't see them on camera, but they did come to the door. They said they did not own a dog, but they did say that one of their neighbours owns a dog. So they said, go check with the neighbour. I went right next door. He had a package. He opened up the roller door. I spoke to him. He said he didn't have a dog, but he thinks that the other neighbours might. So I went and checked with the very next door. They did not answer. This house did. They didn't recognise the dog. This person told me to go and have a look at a particular address. She pulled out her phone and gave me an address to go and have a look at. But that was like, I don't know, a block away, and I was a little bit confused as to why I should go there when I really thought it would have just come through that gate most likely. So I checked on the maps, couldn't quite work it out, so I thought what I'll do is I'll go all the way back to where that gate was, which was right nearby where I found the dog, and pull out Google Maps and just kind of work out where I needed to go to access the front of this house, because this is basically their backyard. So that's me on the phone. Then I'm like, all right, I've got the exact address of this house that I'm at from behind it. Let's go to their house. And I pull up, and look, their house was open. That door is actually slightly ajar, so unlocked and slightly open. The back door was a little bit, or back window I should say, it was a little bit smashed with their gate open. Their front bedroom window was a little bit smashed. There was a push bike outside with the tyre off upside down. There was an extension lead running from inside the house to their car for some reason. There was a full box of Krispy Kreme donuts on the ground covered in ants. But they didn't answer the door. So I went to this guy's house, and he told me that the owners there, he's actually a bit afraid of them. He thinks they're part of some kind of crime gang or something. And he wanted nothing to do with it initially. I said, look, I just need a pen and paper so I can leave them a note, tell them where their dog is. So I took that pen and paper, wrote a note, just dropped it off at that person's house, and off I went. I later contacted the animal pound, and they said that they did hear from somebody inquiring about the dog, so it was most likely the right person, most likely the right house. So good news in the end. The storm started to kick in now when I was at the intersection of Boardwalk and Snides Road. So the wind really picked up, but it was basically pushing me home, and then the camera died. Thanks for joining me on this wonderful bike ride.